Hello everyone, so welcome to the biology class, and today we are going to study the topic which is called nucleus. You have heard the name from the beginning of your classes when you start reading biology, right? What is a nucleus? This is the brain of the cell. This is the control center of the cell. So whatever proteins, whatever enzymes, whatsoever hormones are going to be released inside our system, released inside our cell will be because of the DNA. Now DNA is present inside the nucleus in the form of chromatin. These DNA, they have the coding information in them, and these coded information will be transcribed and then further translated into the protein, and the protein will again help in the structure and functional of our living system. So we'll start the topic nucleus. First of all, what is a nucleus? So it is the controlling center of the cell. This controls the overall function of the cell. Next part is, sometimes the nucleus, there could be no nucleus inside the cell, as in mature RBC. So basically what happened in the bone marrow of hematopoietic cells, when the RBC were formed, initially they had nucleus, but during their maturation this nucleus was removed so that more and more hemoglobin, the globular protein, should be filled. Now every 120 days these RBC will die because there is no nucleus, so they cannot survive for the longer period. So after every 120 days these RBC will die in the liver, and then they will make bilirubin, biliverdin, bile salt, bile pigment, that is for the use inside our system during digestion and other further activities. So basically the RBC, the erythrocytes, they do not have the nucleus, and sometimes they have uninucleus. So they are called uninucleate. Most of the eukaryotic cells, they all are uninucleate. Then there are some cells which can have more than one nucleus also. For example, in paramecium, there are two kinds of nucleus. One is macronucleus and another one is micronucleus. The function of the macronucleus is to take care of the day-to-day activity, and the function of micronucleus will be, it takes part in the sexual reproduction. It makes the protein which is responsible for the sexual reproduction of the paramecium. Now next part. So when we see our nucleus in Z0 phase, here you can see the Z0 phase has come. What is mean by this Z0 phase? So we'll be studying this Z0 in very detail when we'll study about the cell cycle. So for now I'll tell you what is Z0. So basically there are two phases in cell division. One is interphase, one is mitosis or meiosis. In interphase there are three phases, the G1, S, G2, and then the cell enters into M phase. So cell will have the growth, cell will have the DNA replication, again protein formation takes place, cell enters into the mitosis or meiosis, and finally cell will be duplicated or divided. Okay. So sometimes there are certain cells which do not enter this cyclic way. They do not enter into the G1 and M phases. For example, you can remember the skeletal cells, the nerve cells. So they basically do not enter into the cycle. So where will they reside? So they will be residing in Z0 phase. So when the cell is not dividing, that time the cell will residing or resting in Z0 phase. So when we take a cell or when we take a nucleus of Z0 phase, we find decomposition. First is the nuclear envelope, second is the nucleolus, third is the nuclear matrix, and fourth is the chromatin. Now what are these? So you can check here, this is the nuclear envelope. This is the nuclear envelope. Okay, so this is double membrane bound organelle. Now as we have seen in ER, so sometimes the continuation of this nuclear envelope will form endoplasmic reticulum, rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. But there will be certain places where this rough endoplasmic reticulum is not there. That places has a small pore, and these pores are called nuclear pore. Okay. So what is the function of this nuclear pore? Sometimes which is the mRNA which is formed inside the nucleus can come out through this nuclear pore, and other materials also it has to go, when it has to go into the cytoplasm, it will go through nuclear pore only. Majorly the mRNA transportation will take place. This mRNA transportation takes place through this nuclear pore. Second is the nucleolus. So what is the nucleolus? See, nucleolus is actually the dense part, which is non-stained part, and they do not have rRNA, ribosomal rRNA. So that is called rRNA. This rRNA, what is the use of rRNA now? This rRNA will help in the formation of ribosome. If you remember the composition of ribosome that we have already discussed, you can just go and check the video. That ribosome is made up of rRNA plus R protein. So from where does this rRNA comes? So it comes from the nucleolus. Nucleolus is the one which is helping in the formation of ribosomal RNA. Next is the nuclear matrix. Now the plasma part which will have inside this nucleus is called nuclear matrix. Okay, this nuclear matrix also contains a chromatin structure. Okay, now what is this chromatin basically? So chromatin is DNA, the 2-meter long DNA. It also have histone proteins. See, because it is a 2-meter long DNA, and what is the size of the cell? From 10 to 100 micrometer. So we have to keep a 2-meter long thing inside a very small structure. So we have to roll it around something, right? So these histone proteins are positive in charge, and DNA is negative in charge. We'll be studying about the charges and all in the biomolecule chapter. So there is need not have to worry about this. Overall DNA charge is negative because of the phosphorus group present in it, and histone is positive because of the presence of positive amino acid over here. The lysine, arginine, glycine, all the positive amino acids are present. So this negative is rolled around the positive histone proteins. Other than these, non-histone proteins are also there, and also some RNA is also there in the chromatin region. So what is this chromatin contains? DNA, histone protein, non-histone protein, and this RNA. So this chromatin, they have different structure. So when it is in G1, it will look like chromatin, but when it enters into the M phase, metaphase, it will look like these structures. This is called chromosomes. Okay. Now the chromosomes also have a different size. Now this is the primary construction. This is called primary constriction in the nucleus. So this primary constriction is centromere. Okay, and the two threads we can see here, these are called sister chromatids. Okay, now this is the primary constriction. Sometimes some chromosome will have the secondary constriction also. These secondary constrictions are called as satellite chromosome or satellite they will be called. So depending on where this centromere, where this primary constriction is present, the chromosome will be distinguished. If it is present in the center, they are called metacentric. If it is away from the center, they are called submetacentric. If it is the half of the this chromatin sisters are very less, one side is very big. Okay, so this is called petite arm, this is called big arm. That time it is called acrocentric. And when you have very little at one part and very big at the down part, that is called telocentric chromosomes. So in human, if you see, we have 46 chromosomes, and this 2-meter long DNA what we have talked about, it's spread in that 46 number of chromosomes. Okay, so these 46 number of chromosomes, they can be metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric. So this is all about the nucleus. We'll just revise it one. Nucleus is the center of the cell, is the brain of the cell, is controlling system of the cell. Okay, then sometimes there is no nucleus in the present, there can be no nucleus in the cell, as in RBC. There can be one nucleus as in most of the eukaryotes, and there is sometimes more than one nucleus, as we can see in Paramecium, which is having micro and macro nucleus. Then we talk about the structure the nucleus have in the G0 phase, that is the nuclear envelope, nucleolus, nuclear matrix and chromatin. We have also discussed the arrangement chromosome on the basis of the position of the centromere. And we have total 46 number of chromosomes, and they can have each of these any type of chromosome. So this is all about the nucleus, and I hope you have understood the topic. If not, do write your doubts in your comment box. And thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.